Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday. I hope you're all doing well out there today. Holy cow. I have not been sleeping the past couple of nights, so I know that the energies are a lot out there as we process a lot of what has been coming up for us. So I hope you're having a beautiful Monday filled with grace and ease, or had a beautiful Monday filled with grace and ease with whenever you're watching this. So if you're watching on the replay, welcome. And if you're here live, thank you. Really, 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 really appreciative. We hit 2,000 plus. Yesterday was just at like 2001 or 2002 subscribers here on Facebook in my business profile. So thank you, everyone. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. And those of you who've been here, those of you who are just finding me, it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you don't know who I am, if you're just finding me, I'm Melissa L. Watkins, evidential medium and master instructor, teacher with integrated energy therapy. And we're all things spirit. We are all things angels. We are all things high vibe on this channel. So welcome, 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 welcome. And so yes, what's this energy this week, right? Because we've had some big energies. We've had an eclipse. We've had a new moon. Yeah, big energies. Good morning, Delia. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, everyone. So this has been triggering some people. This has been showing some people, giving clarity. This has been giving some people new perspectives. Yeah, this has been something. So I don't think anybody has really gone. I don't want to say unscathed in this energy, but I do feel like yeah, for each and every one of us, something came up. Good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Lori. All right, so let's see what. Oh, yeah, it's just one there. I thought there was more than one there. Good morning. I actually, before I sat down, I did my prayer and meditation, and then I grabbed some angel cards. So this morning we're going to definitely see who is around us, and we're definitely going to see what the support message is. So if you're someone who maybe clicks off, maybe stick around today for the weekly reading. Weekly readings do tend to be a little bigger because spirit really does kind of show up. Can't say that. I feel like anytime I sit down and do one of these dailies, weeklies, monthlies, like it's all good. It's all good. I feel like it's always a pretty big message, but also like important, and maybe not for everybody, but for whoever finds it. Like if you're really resonating, then it's for you. You know, if it's something where you're like, I felt that, yeah, then that message is for you. No worries, Cynthia. No worries. All right, so what do we got here? We have 10 of Wands, 5 of Swords, Strength, 8 of Swords, and 5 of Wands. Wow. Yeah, the 10 of Wands, you're coming out of an ending of an old way of thinking, an old way of believing. Remember, your thoughts inform your emotions, right? Your thoughts inform your beliefs. And I feel like for some of you, you're really coming out of some old thinking. Maybe really letting go of some woulda, coulda, shoulda. Letting go of not feeling good enough, or sometimes as people pleasers, we take on too much responsibility, right? Like we don't oftentimes really make people take accountability for their words, for their actions, right? And I feel like for some of you, you're kind of seeing things again from that new perspective, but it's also like, okay, I'm done. I'm kind of done taking that. I'm kind of done accepting that. Like, yeah, they've had it hard, or yeah, whatever their situation is. But at the end of the day, I mean, you get to a point where you have to take responsibility for your thoughts, actions, deeds, beliefs, right? And I feel like for some of you, you're really getting to a point where you're kind of over. You're kind of over some way of thinking. You're kind of over some way of dealing with a situation. Yeah. Um, Five of Swords. Yeah, because it's been too hard. It's almost like you've been really beneficial to someone, but they're not taking the lesson. They're not learning, they're not changing, they're not evolving. And it's like you've done everything you can do and you're kind of over it. Like, I can't do anything more if you're not going to step up to the plate and also help yourself. So I feel like this week there's a lot of like giving yourself permission, right? To kind of let something go that just you've been beating your head against the wall and it's not even your thing. It's not even your thing. Yeah, strength. So this week, I feel like there is going to be some strength needed because you're ready. You're ready to move on. You're ready to make a new decision. You're ready to kind of have some things be different. And, by making the decision to put up your boundary or not accept the old excuse or the old pattern, right? Because you are kind of over it and moving away from it, even if you're not moving away from it physically, like you're moving away from it emotionally and mentally. And that disconnect is felt, right? That disconnect is felt by those that you were totally beneficial to. Um, and they want it back. They want it back. Good morning, Noni. Good morning, Amy. Um, so yeah, strength this week to stand in your fortitude, strength this week to give yourself the permission. It doesn't mean you have to disconnect from someone completely or forever. It just means maybe pulling back your energy enough this week where it's like, I have to shore up my own reserves. I have to do what's right for me. And yeah, I have to be okay with seeing the truth. I have to be okay with accepting that I'm protected to go in the way that I need to go, being given the strength to go in the way that I need to go. Because that situation, I'm over it. I'm kind of done. I tried. I gave it. I tried. I loved. I helped. I was beneficial. All the things. But if somebody isn't picking up the ball, you can't fix anybody else. You can't fix anybody else's situation. You can't. You can model compassionate behavior. You can model um, being the light, but if they're not picking up the ball, yeah, 5 of Wands. Um, it's time to seek the truth. It's time to know. I feel like the truth has been kind of hitting you in the face for a while, and now it's time to be like, okay, this isn't changing. This isn't what I want. I've done everything I can do in the situation where the person isn't stepping up to the plate, isn't being re reciprocal, right? I'm not getting that fair exchange of energy or, passion or wherewithal or money, whatever it is. If there's not a balance, right? It doesn't feel good, and it just feels like this week there's gonna be a boundary set or there's going to be a new decision made, because what you've been doing just doesn't work, and it's not because you haven't given it your everything, it's not because you haven't given it your all, um, it's for whatever reason, the situation of the person, and this could also be, spirit coming in and saying, it's time for you to make a change, it's time for you to go in a new direction, it's time for you to have more, and this isn't giving it to you, whatever it is, right? This isn't giving it to you. So let's see who wants to come in to support you. And again, for some of you, you might just tweak your energy and things fall into place. For some of you, you might have to have a little bit of a difficult conversation, right? And that's okay. As long as you're dropping down into your heart and speaking from that place, your words can be received. What they do with them is up to them. But I feel like this week, it is about saying what you need to say, being honest about what you need, and what hasn't. Archangel Michael, yeah, it's time to create abundance. It's time to create abundance this week. So for some of you, it really is setting that boundary with that person who's maybe the energy vampire in your life, and it's like you haven't had the energy to do what you need to do, right? You haven't had the energy to make the phone calls, organize the desk, do the research, um, get the information. But this week, it's time. It's time for abundance to be created, and you only have so much energy. And so anybody who's pulling on your energy, anybody who's criticizing you for what you're trying to do, or judging you for decisions and choices you've made in the past, let it go. Let it go, because this is the week. The abundance turns around. The abundance starts to flow in, whether it's financial, resource, opportunity, the right people, the right situations, whatever it is. But it's because you've done that mental flip. You've made the switch in your mind, and that's okay. And that's okay. Archangel Haniel, yeah, connect with your angels this week. That's how you create the abundance, right? You stay in high vibrational frequency. You co-create your reality with your higher self, with your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters. So for those of you who are like, but it's not happening, I'm not getting abundance, right? Things aren't flowing into my experience. Maybe it's been a situation where in the past, month, it's been, this didn't work. This didn't work. I tried that and it didn't work. It was like one closed door after another. It's because they weren't your doors. And it feels like now the doors are going to open. Now things are going to start opening for you. So whatever wasn't right, whether it was the right people, the right situations, or just your energy wasn't in the right place, now that we've been through this eclipse, it shifted a lot of people energetically. It brought in a lot of downloads. It brought in a lot of clarity, new perception, downloads of information, wisdom codes that allow you now to really see things with those very clear lenses, right? There's no more rose-colored lenses. Yeah, and so where the doors didn't open, they weren't your doors. And for some of you, you're going to be like, no, but that's the door that I really, really, really worked for. That's what I really, really, really wanted. Remember, spirit always has the bigger picture. So even though you may have wanted something that you didn't get and you thought, but that was it, they always have the more. They always have the better, right? And I feel like this week something is going to open up. Some well is going to open up, or some door is going to open up that you didn't even know existed. That's why all the other doors didn't open. That's why you haven't felt like you could get where you wanted to go, because you were being held back by your old limiting thoughts and beliefs. And these wisdom codes that are coming in have come in, and that you're going to start unpacking in the next couple of weeks is going to give you the new clarity and the new inspiration, right? Spirit inspired action to take, right? It's because you're over the past, you're over the manipulation, you're over the woulda, coulda, shoulda, you're over the broken promises, you're over the lying by omission. You're over it. You're over it. And that switch that got flipped, it's going to now change your frequency, right? And so you can start drawing in the abundance. You can start drawing in the opportunities. You can start co-creating your reality with your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters. You just have to invoke them. You just have to say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be my moment. I'm ready to take the step that I'm being called to take, even though it might not have been the step you wanted at all. Archangel Metatron, here we go. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. New beginnings. Yeah, something better is coming for you. And sometimes we have no idea what that something better is. We have such a limited perception in our 3D reality. Thank you, Cynthia, right? In our very human 5 senses, we have a very limited perception. And now that is going to get blown out of the water with the new wisdom codes and downloads that this eclipse brought you. So for some of you this morning, you're feeling out of sorts. For some of you this morning, you're feeling like things are really different and you don't know how. You feel different. And it's because it's time. It's time to get into connection, co-create your reality, and the new beginnings are showing up. Okay, I'm hearing, how do you co-create your reality? How you co-create your reality is you look at, where am I vibrationally? Am I thinking about fear-based thoughts? Are my thoughts fear-based thoughts? Am I having victim mentality? Do I feel like I'm not good enough? It's never me, right? Those are the old programming, the traumas and dramas that are holding you back. And for some of you, you may not even realize what they are. You may not realize that your inner child wounding is informing all of your decisions. So you're not able to manifest the abundance. You're not able to manifest the big sweeping changes that you want in your life. You're not able to manifest maybe your most compatible soulmate, right? Because you're still dealing with grief. You're still dealing with anger. You're still dealing with victimization and unworthiness that has been accumulating, right? And for some of that, it's the inner child wounding. And unfortunately, when you have an inner child wound, it's been in your emotional body. And not only has it been in there, but it's been festering, right? So it's been really wreaking havoc in your life. And until you start to transform that, energy can't be destroyed, right? Until you start to transform that back into support, right? Through healing in whatever form that looks like for you. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not giving medical advice, but healing in some way. And you start to really transform those negative emotions back into positive support, right? Then all of a sudden you don't feel like the victim. Then all of a sudden you feel like you deserve. Then all of a sudden you feel empowered to go in the direction you want to go in, right? Then you're co-creating your reality because you're saying, hey, angels, I'm ready for that new job. I'm ready for that new career. And then you surrender, which was actually the card that I actually looked, it was on the bottom of the deck of the other deck I was going to use today. So yeah, surrender. We don't know how, we don't know when, we don't know who, but if we're co-creating our reality, if we're doing the work, lightening our emotional, mental, physical, energetic bodies, we're retransforming those dense emotions, that dense energy that's been holding us back into support. And then we just allow the universe to join up the dots and bring it to us when divine timing is ready. And we just live our life to the best of our ability every day, staying in compassion, staying in gratitude, and letting the opportunities show up. We're not pushing it. We're not forcing it. We're not willing it. We're saying, okay, I have faith. Jesus, take the wheel. I have faith. And then your new beginnings show up. But you've got to put in the work. You got to make the phone calls. You got to update the resume. Like still have to do your work. But once you do all the work, once you've done everything you can in a certain direction, that's when you say, "Jesus, take the wheel. I'm taking my hands off. I've done what I can do. I've sent out the resumes, I've made the phone calls, I've networked. There's nothing else I can do. All I can do is pray now." And that's when things start to show up. That's why connecting with your angels is so important because you're setting that intention. You're working, you're co-creating your reality. You're working with your guides. You're working with your angels. And that's when the new beginnings and the abundance comes in. Let's see if I can. There we go. And this is the week. This is the week. This is the week because you have flipped the script or are in the process of flipping the script of seeing the energy vampires in your life or seeing how you've been really feeling on the inside, those emotions that have been keeping you trapped. Oh, yeah, I guess I do feel like a victim. I do feel like everybody else wins and I never do. I guess I do feel like that. Or, yeah, I am really grieving. I am so sad. I'm so angry. And I'm not moving through the grieving process. I'm stuck, right? For some of you, it's being powerless. Like, I don't feel like I deserve it. I don't feel like I can make a change because I've always been knocked down or I've always been told I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not whatever enough. And I see that now. And I see where I need to do some work on myself because at some point in your life, you have to take responsibility for whatever the trauma is that you're holding on to because that person may never change. They may never validate what you feel. They may never apologize for how you feel or apologize in a way that is authentic. So you now have to take that and say, "Okay, I'm not gonna get the closure. I'm not gonna get the whatever I feel like they should give me. Nope. I'm just gonna take responsibility for how I'm feeling, and I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna walk through the shadow. I'm gonna heal myself because I'm done letting them have any power in my life." When you're holding on to something that was done to you, they still have a foothold in your life. Take that away. Reclaim your power. And I feel like this week something has come in to help you do that. That's what you need to do, Cynthia. Cynthia's like, "I'm staying focused on living in the moment with gratitude and enjoy and leaving the moments ahead to the universe." Yeah. That's and it can be really hard when you're in a desperate situation, like, how do I take my hands off the wheel? Like, I don't have enough money for my rent, or I don't have enough of this for, grocery shopping, like, I get it, like, some of you are in very physically desperate situations, and so how do you surrender? And honestly, that is when you need to do it the most. That is when you need to do it the most. I've been in desperate situations, living on $75 a week. Not sure how I was gonna buy groceries and pay the car insurance. I prayed. I literally stood in the kitchen, threw up my hands and said, "God, I can't do this. I need help. If I'm going to finish this degree, if I'm going to take care of my child, I need help because I need to pay my car insurance to get to school. What am I gonna do? I don't have any food." And an hour later, my father walked in with 2 bags of groceries. I didn't even know he knew I was in a desperate situation. That's how unconscious I was. I didn't know my family was talking about me in a positive, like, helpful kind of way. I've been desperate. I don't wanna sit here and make you think that I'm just pie in the skying this, living in this, like, energy of woo-woo or, you know, no, I know desperate. And I know some of you who are watching this are in desperate situations, whether it's an abusive relationship or financial mess. I get it. You're not gonna you're not gonna get yourself out of it. You've got to go higher. You've got to co-create your reality. You got to do it. That's when you manifest. That's when spirit can bring in the support. When you have the faith. When you stop trying to force it. Stop trying to strive and drive. Because all you're doing is creating more situations to strive and drive. Law of attraction. What you put out is what you get back. If you're putting out fear, you're going to get more opportunity for fear. That's why we have to shift our energetic signature where we're resonating, because we want to draw more of the good stuff to us. Yeah. And this is the week. This is the week for some of you that it is really going to start to open up. And then you're going to have to get in the energy of receiving, which may be another uncomfortable energy because you're not used to that. Yeah, Delia, it is also very important to trust and believe. It absolutely is. Yeah, so strength, loyalty, delivering from those who seek to oppress brings victory. Yeah, and I'm feeling that this week. There's going to be victory in your life this week somehow, some way, whether you can see it or not. And it's not for us to see it. That's where we really have to take our hands off the wheel. We can't see how the universe is going to join up the dots. We can't see how it's all going to work out. It's not for us to see. We just have to take the steps that we can take and then let it all flow into our experience. Surrendering is a really, really important practice. And honestly, guys, it took me a decade to finally get it. And if I had learned it at the beginning of that decade instead of the end, I'd be in a very different place. But I had to keep failing spectacularly before I learned how to surrender. Because that's how they were teaching me to surrender. Spectacularly. I look back on it now and I don't know how I didn't lose my mind. I don't know how I didn't have a mental breakdown. I really don't. Faith. At the end of the day, I did have faith. At the end of the day, I did. I had faith. I used the gratitude journal. I read Eckhart Tolle. I read Dr. Wayne Dyer in my desperate situation when I was totally desperate at the bottom, no way up. And I just dug in. How do other people do it? How do other people succeed? How do other people have and I can't have? And I'm working really, 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 really hard. It wasn't the working hard I needed to do. It was the surrendering. That was the piece I kept missing. I'm a little hard-headed. Decade's a long time. Oh, yeah. So this week, divine timing. I love it, Cynthia. Yeah. Part of our life lessons, unfortunately. Yeah, seriously. It really was. It was a life lesson I just wasn't getting. And this is one of the things I will tell you. Spirit will keep bringing you what you need until you do get it, even if it takes a decade. Even if it takes a decade or longer. But they will keep bringing you the lessons and the support and whatever it is you need until you receive it. So I don't want you to feel like if there's been an opportunity that you feel like you missed, that's done, that's over, because that's not the way it works. If it's for you, whether it's a relationship, a person, a job, a career, whatever it is, spirit will bring it back around. I don't want you to feel like you've ever missed out on anything because you hadn't learned the lesson or you hadn't made the decision that was going to be the hard one, right? You didn't go in the direction you felt, but because it was felt too uncomfortable, you didn't go in that road, right? Yeah, I don't want you to feel like you've ever missed anything. And for some of you, that could be what's coming up in this new beginning this week is something coming back that you thought you missed years ago. Yeah, but definitely something in your mental body, how you think about something if it hasn't switched, it is switching because of these wisdom downloads, because of these codes, frequencies that are being given to you to help you raise your frequency, to help you move in the direction that you need to move for your life experience, whatever way that looks for you. Whew. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Somehow we do a half hour without even trying. So thank you for all of my subscribers. Yay, 2,000. I can't believe it. It's been the little engine that could. We're gaining momentum and it's beautiful and I'm loving it. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. So have a beautiful week and stay connected. And we will talk soon. And happy Monday. All right, guys.